Hello fellow sim racing fans and welcome back to the Traxion channel for another brand new video. Now this is going to be the second round of the ADAC GT4 Esports series on RaceRoom, and I'm going to be competing in it yet again. Huge thank you to everyone for inviting me back. Last time out at Oschersleben I managed to pick up 23rd position. I was just basically aiming not to be last given the calibre of competition, and I succeeded, although I wasn't really as far up as I would like to be at some stage in the season. So I'm going to try and change that today. I'm going to try my best to break into the top 20 in round 2. With a little bit more experience under my belt, I feel like that's an achievable aim. So, with that in mind, let's see how I get on. So what I'm going to do this time around, instead of just showing you little bits from practice and explaining the series, obviously you'll already be familiar with it if you watched the first video of this, I'm just going to talk you through a hot lap instead, try and give you an idea of what I'm actually going to be dealing with this circuit. Okay, so we head onto the pit straight. This is the same Red Bull Ring layout that's used in the Formula 1 Championship, so we're going to mount the curb entirely, brake at the 100 board, down to third, get the nose in, get the power on as early as possible, and get the acceleration out of it. I didn't do too well through there, I was a little bit scrappy, so we're about 600ths off my best at the moment. As you can see, I have done some lap times, I'm in P23, but I definitely know there's more time on the table. Gonna cross over the curb fully, brake just after the 100, down to second gear, off the brake to get the nose in. Again, just missed the ideal apex, and it's gonna cost me. I'm now a 10th off on the exit, so not perfect, but not the worst. That corner's really tricky to be quick round in RaceRoom. You've got to absolutely perfect your inputs. So going to brake down from 6 just before the 100, down to third, roll it in, get off the brake to get the nose in, back on the power over the curb, keep it nice and tight. Lost a couple of hundreds again, but I did make a mistake in the next corner. So this left-hander is really tough. You want to brake just after the 50, get the nose in, make sure you don't understeer too much. If you can, get a wheel in the curb, get the power down, use all of this runoff area. And again for the next left, touch a bit of curb if possible, get on the power. I delayed it. There we go. I had to lift and invalidate the lap, unfortunately. So that was me just getting on the power slightly too early through that second left-hander, which is so easy to do. For this last section, we run up all the way onto the curb here, brake before the 50, down to 4th. I was a bit tentative in the way in, probably took a bit too much curb. Run all the way out wide, use the green runoff area, down to 4th again, in over the curb, on the power as early as possible. Again, a little bit wiggly over there. Used a little bit too much of the exit curb, so not a very good lap, but a lap nonetheless. And now you can see what I'm dealing with here. Okay, let's try and set a good one now. Actually half a second up on this lap, so this is going to jump us probably into the top 10 actually, if I get it right. Oh, mucked up the last corner a little bit and invalidated it. But that lap was a good 5/10ths up, so I'll be interested to see on the leaderboard whether that would have, put us inside the top 10 or not. It would have put us right on the verge of the top 10, so if I just keep it clean and get some good laps in, the pace isn't too bad at all, which is encouraging. Okay, this lap was a little worse than the previous one, but it's still going to be 2/10ths up. Should put us inside the top 20, hopefully. 19th, just about. Right, we're pretty much bang on where I'm kind of aiming to be. It's a lot better again, so it's another 10th. So it's going to jump us up yet again, probably to P16, which is, yeah, it's getting better and better. We're right in the middle of the midfield now, which is really encouraging. What have I learned from this practice session? Well, I'm actually more competitive than last time. I'm in the top 20 in practice, and I still easily had another couple of 10ths. There was a few more laps after the ones you saw, where I was 2/10ths up again, so there's definitely a 36.5 in there, which would put me right on the verge of the top 10, which means that my aim for top 20 is looking pretty good. I think going into qualifying, as long as I get a decent enough lap, I'm feeling pretty good about it. So heading into qualifying, unfortunately I suffered from a few technical issues with the video specifically, so this is why I'm kind of giving you a summary just now of what actually happened in qualifying, but don't worry, we will still be able to show you the race. So qualifying then, well, it sucked pretty much. Unfortunately, I invalidated my first banker lap in the final corner, and by doing that you also invalidate the next flying lap, so that was 2 laps invalid. So I had to pull back into the pits, get some new tyres, and went back out there. I had to do another out lap. So by the time I actually started my first valid lap, there was only about 4 minutes to go of the session. Now, in RaceRoom, you don't get to finish the lap you start when the timer runs out. So basically what it meant was I only had a couple of laps to actually set a good time. My first valid lap was a disappointing 37.0, which was obviously, 3/10 off what I managed in practice and 5/10 off what I could have managed in practice. And yeah, when I crossed the line at the end of that lap, there was less than 3 minutes left, which meant I only had one final lap, and I invalidated it yet again. Just too much pressure. Basically, I crumbled, guys, unfortunately, but that's the way it goes sometimes. Here's my reaction from the time. Oh, I can't believe it. It was looking so good in practice. I had a 26.7, which I did quite a few times and fairly straightforward for me. And yeah, I crumbled in the 10 minutes. I couldn't get a good lap in. A 36.7 would have seen me somewhere between 11th and 16th. So, disappointed. On we go then to the race. 50 seconds till we go. I've put in a bit of extra fuel to be safe. I need to forget about qualifying now. I just need to focus on the race and remember that my pace is good. If I get chances to overtake, I'll take them. There will be carnage. I've got to be a little bit more aggressive, but at least I know my pace is decent. So, yeah, I still think I've got a better chance of a good result than I had at Oschersleben. Looks like we're going already. Away we go then. Make some progress on the outside here. It's a pretty good start. They're about 3 or 4 wide up ahead. I'm going to stick to this outside line. Oh, I've been hit up the rear. Someone down the inside. Just need to hold my own. Should have known not to turn in there, but actually a little bit of damage is apparently okay. You can kind of get away with a few touches, so I'm going to be more open to that in this race. Try and go around the outside of these guys. More contact in front. I don't know if I'm clear. I think I am. Definitely had a better first lap this time than we did in the last race, that's for sure. Someone trying to go around the outside of me, that's never going to work. Focus on the exit. Not the worst, not the best. Okay, we've settled down, we're up to 24th, so I've actually gained positions instead of lost this time. That's a lot better than the first round. Let's focus now. These guys are mental. I was just trying to avoid contact, but I'm in the slipstream now. Actually, the person in front of me was about 3rd in practice, so it just shows you how close the field is yet again. He's going to turn in on me. Contact. Someone spun around. It's messy, but it's another position. Let's defend the inside here. Let the chaos happen. Spinners everywhere. That's going to be another bunch of positions. Oh, I'm going to get my nose chopped off here. But I'm up into P20 now. This is alright so far. Go to the inside. He's going to pretend I'm not there, of course. And that's me round. Oh, no. Oh, I can't believe it. What a shame. It was going so well. I thought I'll put my nose in there because he left the space, be a bit more aggressive than last time, and he pretended I wasn't there, turned right in, and just that contact put me across the curb, and that's it, unfortunately. I'll keep on going though, but I think I'll have damage from that too. We'll still pick up some positions. I think I actually have a way of checking if I've got damage. It looks okay. The car feels okay, so I'm going to keep on pushing, but we're down to 28th and, a good 8 seconds off the pack, so maybe fairly boring from here, unfortunately. Now the thing is, I appreciate that the move I made there wasn't necessarily a racing move you would often go for, but judging from my experience with RaceRoom and this league in particular last week, everybody has really got their elbows out, and if you don't try and go for moves like that, the person behind you will try and do you, so you've kind of got to just go for it and hope. And I tried to keep it out of them. I kept it to the inside. I felt like I'd given enough room, and okay, it was a bold move, and it was probably my fault that it didn't pay off in the end, because I shouldn't have gone for the move, you could argue, but you just have to in these circumstances. And I obviously went for a different approach, and it hasn't quite worked out for me in this race. We're now only 7 seconds behind the pack, so we'll see if I can keep the pressure on, and these guys are battling. I'll see if I can actually close in on them a little bit. Okay, end of this lap, I am now I'm less than 6 seconds behind, so I'm just kind of about a second a lap quicker than the guys in front, so maybe there is a chance of catching them. Let's wait and see. The problem is they string out a little bit and start battling, and stop battling I should say, then they get faster and faster, unfortunately. 5.5 behind P24, so again we're continuing to close in a little bit. That was a 36, that was actually quicker than my quali lap despite the damage and the extra fuel. I've got 10 minutes left of this race. If I could just keep closing the gap on this train in front, then maybe we'll have some battles and I can pick up some more positions. I'm just really, it's like a hot lap competition at the moment. Oh, big battle up in front. I've actually got a car, Mackenberg, only 7/10 behind me as well, so he's just been towing along. I hadn't even noticed. I was so busy watching the guys in front. So this could get interesting still. Oh, they're not far ahead now. Within a second of P27. Mackenberg still grabbing the toe in the Evora. And there they are. We've actually clawed our way back into a battle with 6 minutes to go. But although we've dragged someone else in as well, so we could end up actually finishing worse because of this. Okay, this is where it's all going to change suddenly. My driving style is going to have to change, my lines are going to change. I'm going to try and learn which of these drivers are aggressive, which of them are polite. What corners they're strong at, what corners they're weak at. Got a little bit of a nice run here. Kind of sleek down the inside of the Lotus. It's not an overtaking opportunity normally. Well, I've got a good run, we'll see. See if he closes the door. We'll actually just let him go. Don't want to risk a cut penalty. Focus on the exit of this turn. Okay, we got a decent enough exit, but they all pretty much sorted themselves out as well, so can't do anything into turn 1. Okay, nice exit from turn 1, just about kept it within the track limits. This is a chance. The Audi's not gonna, I can't get the Audi to move over to give us the position to tow. We're gonna go around the outside here. I feel like the outside's a good place to be on this hairpin actually. There we go, we can get the better exit in the Lotus, pinch them down to the apex. Oh, we're still gonna be side by side, but I think I was right to use the outside line. Let's see if I can get him before the next corner. I think I'm gonna just about be clear. Can't quite tell. We'll stay on the outside. Can't tell if he's still there, but we'll give him room. Oh, I've mucked it up. Ah, no. I just ran onto the gravel on the exit and mucked it up. We'll stop this person behind me going for a move now. Oh, the Lotus has gone wide. Claw down the inside. This time we've got a nice bit of a space, so I can definitely make the move stick. They can't turn in on me as easily as the last one, but I'm going to give them room in the exit. This is good racing now. This is exciting. We're still side by side. Don't know who's going to yield. We'll run side by side through here. Keep it on the track limits. Still side by side. We'll go for the exit. Undercut. Come on. Oh, it's so close. This person's really, really good at racing. Just side by side. We've had pretty much no contact as well. It's been fantastic. This is not an overtaking opportunity though, sadly. Keep them to a wide line, and that's it, yeah. I'm vulnerable again now to the car behind. Just couldn't quite make it stick. That was a great battle for that lap though. I mean, full credit to the driver in front. That was really, really good, clean racing. And they deserve to stay ahead in the end, to be honest. Next Lotus took a dive bomb on me there. Didn't want to block him off too late, but I think we should be okay. Yeah, there we are. Okay, Okay, so they're not afraid to send one down the inside, which is fair enough, so I need to kind of cover the middle of the road a little bit, or brake nice and late for this one. Gonna cover the middle of the road, that worked. A little bit squirrely in the exit, but we've held on to P28 for now. 2.5 minutes left. Car in front got right up on 2 wheels. Oh no! I was so busy watching the BMW get up on 2 wheels that I totally screwed my corner. Got to slow down, but I'd slowed down enough anyway, and we've lost P28. Oh, I cannot believe it. I had so much time and space into turn 1, I didn't know what to do with myself. I had the low fuel message coming up on the dashboard. Kind of didn't know what gear I was in, and yeah, it was just an absolute disaster. Oh, they're going to make contact on the inside. It's going to bring the two of us back into the battle a little bit, but we're just a little bit too far behind to capitalise. Let's hope these guys keep battling like mad, and there's another lap at the end of this one. Oh, chaos in front. We're going to get one position. Not the way we want to be taking positions, but I think I'll take it in this race. Oh, this is close. I'm going to focus on my exit again here. Beautiful. Okay. Could even get 2 of them here. I just focused on keeping it to the inside. Used a bit too much curb, but got away with it. Gonna let the BMW draft me a bit. I'll brake nice and late into turn 1. We'll chuck it in. Cover the apex, and there we go. 2 positions. P26. Now I've got to hang on to that. It's the last lap as well, by the way, so this is it. I need to cover the middle of the road here, I think. Stop any late dive bombs or anything. Just run them out nice and wide, that's fine. Let the 2 Lotuses battle each other into the next corner and I'll just swoop away. Just got to watch out for one of them braking too late and missing their marks, but I think we should be okay. I have to say, other than that, you know, one move that was probably a risk too far on my end, I'd need to look at the incident again itself to see who was really at fault for the incident, but I understand why the driver turned in, and you have to say, I had to be a bit more careful. But aside from that one incident, it's been so much better a race for me than the previous one, even though the result's not going to show it, obviously. Fantastic clean battles as well with the guys around me in this particular group. It's been absolutely superb. So well done to all of them, but we're going to finish P26. What do you say about that? What do you say about that? Oh, what a race. I'm really glad I caught the drivers at the end, because I at least got some action. I was really thinking for a while there that crash was going to put me totally out of contention for the whole thing. But no, it was good that we got back into it, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself yet again, but for totally different reasons to the first race. So I guess that was a far less conventional race than round 1 for me. A lot more contact. I managed to get my elbows out a lot better, and to be fair, for the first few laps it was working, but sadly that side-to-side contact just sent me the wrong way. I watched it back, and it wasn't really hugely their fault or my fault, to be honest. It was a bit of a racing incident. They didn't really leave me enough space, but you could argue I shouldn't have put my car there in the first place. So, you know, obviously without looking into what I don't know what penalties are going to get given, if there's going to be any at this stage, but from my personal point of view, it looks a bit like a racing incident. So, you know, that's the way it goes sometimes. As I was saying, aside from that incident, it was actually a really good race. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. I'm glad I managed to catch up and battle those guys. And to be honest, I now know I've got the pace to be fighting for a top 15. I know I didn't show it in qualifying, but I know from practice that I was comfortably in that kind of region and I could have done those laps consistently. So it was really a muck-up on my part in qualifying to make that mistake, but I really could have been high up there. So that's encouraging for the next race at least. In the meantime, make sure you subscribe to the Traxion YouTube channel, click the button there, and you can check out all of our other racing game videos, and of course hit the notification bell if you want to see them as they are released. But until next time, keep it pinned, thanks for watching, and I'll do better, I promise.